For me, in one word, PALFINGER means reliability. The story began at a local council meeting in Tübingen, where Boris Palmer, the mayor of Tübingen, decided that energy-related carbon emissions in Tübingen will be eliminated by 2030. This really inspired us. We said to ourselves, hey, we're a long-standing company with over 30 subsidiaries in the building materials trade, the #1 tradesman supplier in Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria. That's something we want to do and can do too. And so that's when we set to work. We have a Kaizen team which champions continuous improvement throughout the company. For example, our Kaizen team is responsible for eliminating waste. Welcome to the Kaizen office. Kaizen is the philosophy of instigating small improvements, small steps, which then help us to achieve big goals. So in this case, carbon neutrality by 2030. Getting people on board, creating the right culture for this, so improving a process, simplifying a procedure, that's relatively straightforward when you have a group of specialists who know what they're doing. But what's really exciting is then turning this into a reality and bringing about long-term change. And that's where the corporate culture comes in. For this, we need the employees, we need passion, guts, and understanding. When we analyzed the origin of the carbon emissions here in our company, we discovered that 52% can be attributed to the logistics. I then had some sleepless nights. I've always described myself as someone who just gets on with things, even if the details have yet to be worked out. And I didn't want to wait around for some electric transportation solution to come along. And so that's how this project was born, the e-drive crane with a biomethane truck. We implemented this together with PALFINGER. Here we can see an Iveco CNG truck. So this is the first small innovation. A low-emission, natural gas-powered truck. And the highlight of this vehicle can actually be found at the rear. Here we have the PALFINGER Tech 7 crane, part of the 29,000 series, with e-drive, so a fully electric drive. This means it's decoupled from the combustion engine and so operates completely autonomously. It's also a fantastic piece of innovation and will really help us to achieve our goals. Our approach was to come up with something that would enable us to make deliveries with minimal noise, including in residential areas. The e-drive is a huge help here, of course, because this loader crane runs without the assistance of the truck's combustion engine. This vastly reduces noise levels when we're making deliveries. I personally expect that especially in public building projects in inner city and urban areas in general, it will also be the case that companies who can make carbon-neutral deliveries are the ones who'll get the business, and we're preparing ourselves for this in painstaking detail. There's a whole series of measures. I would like to say that for many years, probably for more than 10 years now, we haven't been changing our oil every year. Our mindset right from the start was that we didn't want to waste oil, so we would ask the PALFINGER partners to analyze the oil because we change the oil only as and when needed. Yes, the advantages are obvious, and it's true, as Mr. Huber already mentioned, that we started performing oil analyses long ago. And of course, we're now deploying more and more PALFINGER products. Our oils have a theoretical service life of up to 5 years, oil that completely unnecessarily we used to change every year. So you can say that we have made savings by a factor of 5. And when you consider that it takes 300 liters to fill one oil tank, you can see what kind of figures we're dealing with. So over a period of 5 years, we use not 1,500 liters of hydraulic oil, but just 300. That represents enormous cost savings, of course. And I hardly need to say that waste oil has a very, very poor carbon footprint. Last year, for example, we built Tübingen's biggest solar power plant on our concrete factory. which means that our concrete factory now runs almost exclusively on its own electricity. We switched to green electricity at all our branches. And then there are all the many, sometimes very small measures that our energy scouts come up with inside the company.
In many of our indoor spaces, whether at our reception desk, in our showrooms, or in our offices, we've removed some of the fluorescent lighting, because we said that very often the light isn't needed at all. Of course, we asked our colleagues whether they were still able to work properly, and no one really noticed any difference. So we've started making savings there. If you just formulate a standard, talk to your colleagues a bit, hold a workshop, collect ideas, start brainstorming, you can identify lots of things that are really easy to put into practice.
E-drive cranes are clearly extremely worthwhile for all the reasons we mentioned. And something else that's really exciting for us, for the exact same reasons, are electric forklifts, remote-controlled solutions, or four-way forklifts, truck-mounted forklifts. These are really important things that we long to see on the market. And of course, ultimately, a vehicle fleet, all the unloading systems could operate with zero emission. That would definitely be a goal that we'd like to achieve as soon as possible.
Ziel, dass wir das schnellstmöglich erreichen.